it needs to be called out. If all you care about are exclusives, then here's what you have gotten so far this year.
What's this?
Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
What?
Helldivers 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Stellar Blade, and Rise of the Ronin, which I played briefly. It's not on my trophy list.
This is whack. I can't get jiggy with this shit.
Mm-hmm. Can you name an era where more and better games came out on in PlayStation? I'd like to hear about that 6-month run in PlayStation's history where those kinds of games all came to the console exclusively, if that's what's important to you, which apparently it is. Name the era. I've been with PlayStation since the beginning, so you can name it and I can recall it very quickly. This is amongst the strongest runs of games in the history of the console, actually. And the only reason people don't give a shit in some of the parts of the core is because it doesn't come from Sony Studios.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
Right.
And I just think that I've said for many years now, and people know, it's like, I like my PlayStation first party games a lot. Some of them are my favorite games of all time. But I'm not here just for PlayStation games. That can't possibly be true. There aren't enough of them. There weren't enough of them in the most voluminous era of, well, PS1, Sony was publishing everything, but they weren't really making very much of it. PS2, they weren't making very much of it, publishing a little bit. By the time you got to PS3, where there was parity and there were studios starting to make things, let's say 2011, 2012, 2013, pretty busy time for PlayStation first party games, pretty comparable to where we are now.
The fuck are you talking about?
This is always a funny conversation to me because for years, these guys like Colin Moriarty made fun of Xbox not having nothing but Halo, Gears, and Forza. Yes, even when Xbox bought Bethesda and they bought ABK and they bought studios, he still didn't give Xbox credit for having these games.
I don't think Microsoft deserves credit for a lot of that. Psychonauts 2, not your game. You know, Deathloop, not your game. This year, Ghostwire Tokyo, not your game. Fallout or Starfield, not your game. And we're going to talk about those later. So I feel like the proof is still going to have to be in the pudding as far as can they deliver? Because their big marquee game, Halo, no, definitely not. Definitely not by any.
So now here we are in a situation where PlayStation doesn't have many first party games. So of course, Colin Moriarty switches his narrative into, you don't like video games? PlayStation just had a hell of a 6-month run. Look at all of these exclusives. Then he named a bunch of games nobody gave a shit about, with the exception of Helldivers 2. See, this is what I'm saying about the ponies in this community. Guys like Colin Moriarty destroyed Xbox for their lack of first-party content. They destroyed them. Then when Xbox decided, we need to invest in some new first-party studios, we need to invest into buying publishers to broaden our first-party portfolio, then guys like Colin Moriarty started the organic growth shit. This guy is hilarious.
But I'm not here just for PlayStation games. That can't possibly be true. There aren't enough of them. But I'm not here just for PlayStation games. And
tell you, shut your bitch ass up.
Now he says, I'm not here just for PlayStation games. Ain't that a bitch? That's hilarious because when us Xbox guys tried to say the same thing, that Xbox does have games, they have plenty of games to play on Xbox. The console warriors destroyed Xbox and Xbox fans for their lack of first party. Colin Moriarty, come on now, bro. I just pulled the clip. I just showed the clip of you saying Starfield didn't matter. All of these Xbox games that they bought didn't matter. And then you bashed Halo Infinite, saying that game wasn't shit. But here we go, man. The same old shit with you guys. The hypocrisy is embarrassing at this point.
Helldivers 2 has probably sold something like 15 million copies at this point. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink was very, very well liked by people. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is masterful. Stellar Blade is excellent. People love Rise of the Ronin. What is wrong with you guys?
There he goes. He's mentioning the sales of Helldivers 2. Grand Blue, people love that game. People love Stellar Cheeks. People love. How come he didn't mention Foam Stars? How come he ain't mentioned that shit? That game was in that great, phenomenal, flawless 6-month run of PlayStation exclusives. How come he didn't mention Foam Stars? But there we go. He want to talk about this person like that game. These people love this game. Helldivers 2 sold 15 million. But none of those games are first party, right? It's funny how that narrative just doesn't mean the same. Colin Moriarty isn't the only guy that's saying shit like this. I have receipts of PlayStation fanboys just forgetting that they mentioned Xbox has no first-party games in the past, but now they're hyping up all of these third-party games. And listen, let's be honest. Having third-party exclusives is a good strategy. But I'm calling out the hypocrisy. I'm calling out guys like Colin Moriarty that destroyed Xbox in 2022 for not having any first-party games. They definitely had some third-party exclusives, timed exclusives, like High on Life, As Does Fall, Till Does Fall, whatever the hell the name of that game was. But they said Xbox had no games all year. But now when PlayStation has their drought, now, oh, look at this. We had games from January to July. We had a phenomenal 6 months, the best in PlayStation history. Come on, Colin, you don't really mean that shit. The best in PlayStation history? You talking about Foam Stars? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Helldivers? Is that those really the best games? The best 6 months in PlayStation history? Stop it.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
Like I told you guys, it's not only Colin Moriarty that's being a hypocrite when it comes to first-party games versus third-party games. Also, a lot of ponies have been exposed, and you know me, I have the receipts. Yesterday, this pony was talking shit about the Colin Moriarty clip. Well, he actually commented on the Colin Moriarty clip. Some people was calling Colin Moriarty a hypocrite, and this guy, Bubbles, he says, nope. Why would anybody care what party an exclusive is? Between all the PS5 exclusives and third-party games, you'd have to be a right dumb fuck to claim PS5 has no games. Now, me not knowing who in the blue hell this guy is, I went to his Twitter profile and I searched a few words that I knew some shit would pop up. I searched Xbox, first-party games, Xbox has no games. And of course, a plethora of things popped up. But I pulled this one tweet from 2021 from this same person. He said back in 2021, he's shit-talking Kenna and then showing us second extinction. To be honest, it's not second extinction's fault. Xbox has, let me clear my throat on this one, no big first-party game since like 2 years, which is why Xbox clowns have to hype up mediocre stuff like Medium and whatever this game is.
Nigga, we caught you. Nigga, we done got them caught you, my boy. Boy, you caught, boy. Hey, boy, you caught, boy.
So 2 years ago, he was bashing Xbox for not having any first-party games and hyping up a game like The Medium, which was, of course, a timed third-party exclusive. The hypocrisy is crazy with these ponies, isn't it? There was a couple more I want to talk about. This guy named David Jones. This is like last year. He says, bro, everyone knows the term Xbox has no games means first-party AAA games, not third-party games, nor first-party indie games. Play dumb like you don't know what we mean. Now, this guy is pretty much saying what all ponies said to Xbox fans when Xbox didn't have many first-party games. They would say Xbox has no games. The Xbox fans would say, well, we do have games to play. We have a lot of games to play. And their response would always be something like this. You know what we mean. You know we mean Xbox has no first-party games. But of course now, guys like Colin Moriarty, it doesn't matter. We have games to play. We always have games to play. But this console war, people talk about first party. You know that, we know that. This guy Top Sync, I believe this guy is telling it how it is. Pay attention, people. When someone says either Xbox has no games or PlayStation has no games, they are referring to first party. Of course there are third party games coming. Top Sync, thank you. So many people just, the hypocrisy is bananas, man. I told you, I showed you how Colin Moriarty called out Xbox saying those games are not Xbox's games. Those games ain't shit. Those games don't count. He said that crap. But then all of a sudden, third-party games count? Third-party games mean everything? This is the best 6 months of PlayStation history? Xbox bought these studios. They own these IPs now, but those games don't count. Those are not their games. Oh, okay, but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth counts. Okay. Rise of Ronin counts. Stellar Blade counts as some of the best games in PlayStation history. But okay, Xbox own IP doesn't count because they bought them. Get the hell out of here. I'm so tired of this fake ass shit in this community, man. Oh my God. Listen, I gotta go. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you happen to stumble across my channel, you think I'm decent enough, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? And if you subscribe, please hit that notification bell to know when my black ass is doing some new content, baby. All right, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Shit. Damn, man.